Yeah. Just 3. Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Crestwood School Board of Education regular meeting, July 29, 2024. I'll call the meeting to order at 7:05. Mr. Secretary, can we get a roll call, please?
Trustee Amon is here. Trustee Baidoun is not here. Trustee Fawaz is not here. Trustee Janoun?
Here.
Trustee Seba?
Here.
Trustee Williamson?
Here.
Madam President?
Here?
We have quorum.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Trustee Baidoun and Trustee Fawaz send their regrets that they're unable to attend today's meeting. Can we get the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So before we have the consent agenda read, I did want to, I love seeing the huge crowd out here today. Thank you and welcome. I do want to apologize to everybody watching and everybody here ahead of time because we're trying a new way of doing the meeting and the way that items are brought to the board and approved to the board. So it may be a little messy today, and I'm just giving a precursor to that. So I apologize in advance. Mr. Secretary, can we get the consent agenda, please?
Okay. Recommended action, Board of Education approval is recommended for the items listed on the consent agenda, which include July 29, 2024 board agenda, the minutes from the study session on Monday, June 17, 2024, the minutes from the regular meeting on Monday, June 17, 2024, and the check register for June 1st through June 30, 2024.
Second.
Okay, recommended action by Trustee Amon, seconded by Trustee Williamson, that the Board of Education approval is recommended for the items listed on the consent agenda, which include the July 29, 2024 board agenda, the minutes from the study session on Monday, June 17, 2024, the minutes from the regular meeting on Monday, June 17, 2024, and the check register for June 1 through June 30, 2024. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, so next item is if we have special consideration for any items. So today's action items are 6A1 through, see if I can do this right, 7E1. And if anybody would like, any board members would like any of those items pulled, please specify which items you want pulled.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Williamson.
I would like to pull personnel items 7D2,
Okay.
7D3,
Okay.
and 7E1.
Okay, Trustee Williamson would like to pull 7D2, 7D3, 7E1. Any other action items that we need pulled from any other board?
We're not obligated for 6A?
6A11.
Board of Education approved requisitions presented. Oh, yes, see, good thing I apologized. Okay, so we are at purchase orders? Business report, is that where we are, 6A1? No, I thought we're.
6A11. 6A11?
Are we pulling that one? Yes.
Yes.
So, Madam Chair, I would also like to include 6A11.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I wasn't official.
No, that's why I asked if there were any others. So there's gonna be 6A1. So we're pulling 7D2, 7D3, 7E1, and 6A11 needs a roll call vote. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that being said, I will take a recommended action to approve all of the items. Before voting this one? It's not on here.
Is it on the agenda?
Yes, it is, item 4. Okay, so we want public comment first. That's what the agenda says. So now we'll go to public comment.
She wasn't lying when she said it was all.
Yeah.
We're trying to-
I don't know.
This is our first time doing public comments
All right,
before.
so Billy, there you go.
Okay. This meeting of the board is held in public for the purpose of conducting a school's district business and that is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. This is not the time for a debate or an argument. Do not mention any student or staff names, and in order to permit a fair allotment of time to participants, speakers will be limited to 3 minutes. The president may extend this time by 5 minutes per person when needed. Up to a half hour is provided for public input. Direct all questions to the board president. Okay, our first speaker is David Kadur?
You're so close. Kadurka.
Kadurka.
Good evening. Just want to say a couple things. My name's David Kadurka. I'm a teacher at the high school. This will be my 30th year in education. This will be my 11th at Crestwood High School. Quick side note, I can't name names, but just a quick shout out. Really happy to see two of my colleagues here dressed nicely, which may mean that they're getting a promotion today, so congratulations to them. That's pretty awesome to see. But back to it. So this is my 11th year at Crestwood. By my math, I have 9 years left to go, and I'm a little nervous. It surprised me to hear that our contract is still not finalized. We don't even have a tentative agreement. Again, in 30 years, 3 states, 5 different high schools, I know this process, and I don't normally see it go this long. And to be honest, if we are going to run into a roadblock, I'd like to know sooner than later, because the window to even explore anywhere else is closing rapidly. So I asked the board to please express concerns, the negotiating committee, to put some pressure to finalize this so that we can focus on preparing for kids. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our next speaker is Edward Abate.
President Elziat, Superintendent Dr. Masalam, Associate Superintendent Mrs. O'Hara, Chief Financial Officer Mrs. Morgan, and distinguished members of the school board. Assalamu alaikum, or marhaba, or as we say in Italiano, ciao. My name is Edward Abate. I am a social studies teacher at Crestwood High School, concentrating in U.S. history and U.S. government. I'm also the Crestwood Federation of Teachers Vice President at the high school, and also the Crestwood High School negotiator for the current collective bargaining agreement. I speak tonight to implore you to reconsider your position on the proposal for reinstating the just cause language into the contract that we have been so diligently working on. Let me preface my remarks by making an observation about the current administration. In the recent past, I have worked closely with Associate Superintendent O'Hara, Dr. Masalam, and building principal at Crestwood High School, Mr. Ronnie Abdelhadi. They have exhibited nothing but a just and fair discipline policy, investigating thoroughly, and administering fair discipline if warranted. Yet, just as this board and administration is concerned and has been about future sustainability and keeping our district on sound financial footing, the Crestwood Federation of Teachers is also concerned about future administration that may not be so prudent when applying administrative power. Just cause is a close cousin to a fundamental civil liberty that we all enjoy in our free and open society. It's called due process. The right to due process afforded to all citizens in this country in the Bill of Rights, in the 14th Amendment, guarantees us the right to have a judge and a jury decide guilt or innocence, and not, say, a law enforcement agency. We are also afforded a rigorous defense. Its close cousin, just cause, also allows us a right to challenge disciplinary action and gives us the right to a judge or a third-party arbitrator to decide our fate, not one side or the other. Now, many of you know me. I've taught the democratic principles here at Crestwood School District for 27 years. 13 years in this building, I get flashbacks when I come here, and 14 years at the high school. Every day I bring my diligent passion and energy to the classroom to instill into my students those democratic values that make us the most free place in the world to live. And so that our democracy will carry on for those young people and their children and their children's children. When I first started in this profession,
Ed, sorry, so that's the timer, you've hit 3 minutes, but I'm gonna extend 1 minute.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. When I first started in this profession, just cause was expected and included in all school district contracts. About a dozen years ago, the state legislature took that away from us. New laws allow us to negotiate that back. We just want what was taken from us back. So we are only asking for one of those democratic values that I teach to our students so we can continue to sustain our democracy and our freedom. Thank you for the extra time.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Okay, next up is Mr. Brian Paul.
Dear board members, as mentioned, my name is Brian Paul, and I'm deeply honored to serve as union president for our dedicated teachers working on our district. Many gathered here today in very, very short notice. Please stand if you're a teacher, if you could. Please stand up. Thank you so much for being here on such short notice. I appreciate it. Thank you. For the past 6 months, our negotiation team has had the distinction to negotiate working on a new contract with Penny Morgan, Andrea O'Hara, and a host of district administrators. Throughout this process, with Mrs. Morgan very admirably leading the way, they have all conducted themselves with professionalism, honesty, and integrity. Of note is Mrs. O'Hara, who wears her heart upon her sleeve and does her best to honor her position as an administrator, but to also provide a fair voice and perspective for teachers. Indeed, she's never lost sight of the fact that she was once a teacher, and I mean that with the utmost praise to you. Nonetheless, throughout this process, as to be expected, we've had our differences of opinion. Currently, we're deeply stuck in one. I come before the board bearing an olive branch to directly appeal to your hearts for you to grant the administration team the ability to solve this difference and bring our negotiations to a conclusion. We're asking for a fair and equitable contract. Specifically, as Mr. Abate mentioned, we would like for just cause for discharge and demotion to be included in our contract, like it is in the contracts for our custodial, maintenance, paraprofessional, and clerical employees. My dear board members, you have the power and honor to allow this to happen. Please, don't let the fear of being one of the early districts to do so hold you back. In your wisdom, you've granted it to our brethren who work right alongside us. We, your teachers, are only asking for the very same thing that you're providing to our colleagues. Time is running out. I beg of you, notify Mrs. Morgan tomorrow that you approve of just cause for discharge and demotion. Then we can meet on Wednesday, our next scheduled negotiations meeting, and bring them to a close and provide our teachers enough time to prepare for our students' imminent return. Mrs. O'Hara, as my administrative first point of contact, and I have worked tirelessly to establish a positive working relationship with each other for the benefit of the two sides we each represent. Grant this request and further strengthen that connection that we have. Lead us and other districts with God's blessing to bear witness to the greatness that is Crestwood School District. May God continue to bless all who work, learn, and parent in our beloved district. Thank you.
Okay, so we are now at the point in our agenda for action items. Everybody on board? Okay,
Sounds good.
all right, thank you. So, I am looking for a motion to approve action items 6A1, 6A2, 6A3, 6A4, 6A5, 6A6, 6A7, 6A8, 6A9, 6A10. We are pulling 6A1 as it needs a roll call vote.
6A11.
6A11, and we are going to approve 7A1, 7B1 through 7B11, 7C1, 7D1, we are pulling 7D2, 7D3, and we are pulling 7E1.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Williamson.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve action items, specific report, and personnel reports numbered 6A1, 6A2, 6A3, 6A4, 6A5, 6A6, 6A7, 6A8, 6A9, 6A10, 7A1. Oh, I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
7B1,
No, my thing.
or 7A1.
It's okay.
The right hand.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. I got it here. So, 7A1. Which one? I'm sorry.
7B1
There
through
it is.
7B11.
All right. So, 7A1, 7B1 through 7B11, 7C1, and that's it.
7D1.
7D1.
7D1, I'm sorry.
Support.
Okay, so recommended action by trustee Williamson, supported by trustee Amen, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve business report items 6A1, 6A2, 6A3, 6A4, 6A5, 6A6, 6A7, 6A8, 6A9, 6A10, and personnel report 7A1, 7B1 through 7B12, 7C1, 7C2, 7D1. Any discussion on any of the items? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, those items carry, and now we'll go to 6A11, which needs a roll call vote, I believe, and that is under the business report. Ms. Morgan?
Yes, do you want me to read about it, or,
Yeah, you can.
okay. But I had the wrong page, so,
Resolution calling for election.
yep. I just had the wrong page pulled up, it didn't go all the way down. The district received the attached signed letter from Michigan Department of Treasury approving our application for preliminary qualification of bonds. This means that the Board of Education can now call for the school election seeking voter approval for the borrowing $121 million and issue its general obligation unlimited tax bond for the purpose identified in the ballot language. Attached is a resolution along with 3 attachments, one of which is the actual bond language. Upon adoption, I will provide 1 copy to the City of Dearborn Heights clerk on or before 4 p.m. on Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. The certification of ballot proposition form will accompany our resolution, which will provide the district with documentation that the ballot language was forwarded to the election clerk before the applicable election law deadline. Also is an election calendar for your review. The next date on the calendar is September 21st, 2024, which is when the city clerk must have the absentee ballots available for voting.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Williamson.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the resolution call for the election seeking voter approval for the borrowing of $121 million and issue the general obligation unlimited tax bonds for the proposal identified in the ballot language. See attachment 6A11, 6A, 6A11B, 6A11C, 6A11D.
Support.
Recommended action by trustee Williamson, supported by trustee Amen. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Oh, Mr. Secretary, can we get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Amen, yes. Trustee Beno's not here. Trustee Fawaz not here. Trustee Janoon?
Yes.
Trustee Seba?
Yes.
Trustee Williamson?
Yes.
Madam President?
Yes. Motion
Wow.
carries. Thank you. Now we'll go to Personnel Report 7D2.
There's no separate action items for those.
And 7,
In your report, in the personnel report.
Do you want?
yep.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
7D2 is the contract for assistant principal at Crestwood High School, Shireen Barada. Ms. Barada is joining the administrative team at the high school as a new assistant principal. She started her career at Crestwood and has worked as a mathematics teacher and a numeracy coach. Shireen recently completed her administrative certification and is excited to move into another new role with Crestwood. Her ability to build strong relationships with students will be an asset to the team. Do you want me to read both?
Yes.
Contract for assistant principal at Crestwood High School, Ali Hanawi. Hang on one second. Mr. Hanawi has worked as an ELA teacher at Crestwood for 2 years and has established excellent relationships with colleagues, students, and parents. He completed his administrative internship under Mr. Abdul Hadi and is looking forward to continuing to increase his capacity and build bridges with students and families.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Janoon?
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of the candidates named in action items 7D2 and 7D3, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law.
Support.
Recommended action by Trustee Janoon, supported by Trustee Saba. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations to
Congrats.
Shireen and to Ali. Shireen and Ali, can you guys stand up so we can just say hi and congrats? Congratulations. Next item, 7E1, approval of marching band staff. Can we get a recommended action?
Madam Chair?
7E1.
Madam Chair?
Trustee Amen?
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of 2024-2025 marching band staff effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law.
Support.
Recommended action by Trustee Amen, supported by Trustee Janoon. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
Abstain?
One abstention. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, superintendent report.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Board. One action item, a few information.
I would just like to congratulate the board members for getting through that. The first time.
And let's add to that, first time you're doing it all electronically.
Yes.
So first action item, setting a regular meeting dates and times.
Madam Chair?
Trustee Janoon.
I recommend the Crestwood Board of Education approve the meeting calendar for the 24-25 school year as presented in attachment 8A1.
Support.
Recommended action by Trustee Janoon, supported by Trustee Amen. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. So informational items, some updates, Crestwood High School fall sports, volleyball versus Arbor Preparatory High School. They have their first home game Tuesday, August 27th. JV plays at 5:30, varsity plays at 7. Soccer, first home game is Wednesday, August 28th. JV at 5:30, varsity at 7. And then varsity football's first home varsity game is Thursday, August 29th at 7 p.m. Also, as an update on the bond information, so I appreciate the board for passing and unanimously at this point to move forward with the bond. As you know, this has been a full year process, actually more than a year. We've been talking about it and working on some things. I had some parents who spoke to me, and they are going to become the citizens to vote yes for the bond. So and they asked me and we spoke, so they will be coming to a board meeting very soon. They're going to be developing their own political action committee in order to do so. So the community and everyone's aware, this bond process was not something drawn up in some back corner. This involved between 40 and 50 community members as well as staff members, and everyone was invited. And through this process, we looked at multiple variables on how to move forward with a bond, looking at not only our needs today, but our needs for the near future and the far future. So the board, as well as the community and the public, will start seeing information coming out concerning this bond very soon. And now that it's official, we can now go to the next steps. So I appreciate the board's continuous work and effort in moving this forward, and now is when the heavy work begins, so we can move forward and in November have successful results. I just want to talk about real quick, I appreciate all the members of the Crestwood staff that are here. Actually, I wish you all would show up a little bit more often and give us a little bit more lively of a room. Usually we only can look at David and Kathy and Kristen, but we enjoy looking at the three of you, don't worry. I appreciate the kind words, Mr. Abati, Mr. Stoddard. I do. Mr. Paul, sorry. I saw Jim in the corner of my eye, and I'm looking directly at Paul. Sorry, my apologies. And I appreciate Mr. Kaderka, your years of service, and all of you here with your years of service. I want to emphasize the point that you are right. We will always have a systematic process when it comes to anyone's livelihood. Our goal is never to disrupt someone's livelihood. Our goal is to actually improve their livelihood, improve their capacity and their ability to do the best job they can do in the classroom, to improve their capacity and their ability to be there for their families. And one of our goals and our focus is always looking at things from an empathetic standpoint, but also holding high standards, because as we all know, look, it's not a cliche. Those that we serve are our future. And our community's needs will continue to grow and expand as we continue to move forward. Yes, the negotiating team that I have, they update me, and the negotiations have made a lot of progress. And I think there's a lot of very good progress. And we are at a sticking point right now on this aspect of just cause. I'm not going to sit here and deny it with you. And I think there's a lot of things that have been TA'd, and we're just waiting to finalize our next step. So I just want to make it clear, and I appreciate the kind words, that we're not trying to hold anything up. And I know you're not trying to hold anything up. And we're both working together, which we always have. Even some of our most difficult conversations. Brian, I know you know for a fact, and I'm going to say Jim, because Jim was the previous president, and I worked with Jim as well. When I was called to look into something or to go talk with teachers if there was a concern, we always did, and we will continue to do so. And as you mentioned, I appreciate the fact that you have faith and trust in us, but you don't know what the future may hold. You don't know who the next superintendent, who the next associate, next CFO, and that is totally understandable. But what I can tell you is, I feel that as we continue to work together and we continue to look at the language that is in the contract, I think we can find an amendable place where we can move forward together. So I will be seeing you on Wednesday. I look forward to that conversation. But I would like everyone to know that it is never an intention of any of us to look at anything other than from an empathetic standpoint. And we will continue to do so. I was a union person. I still wear my union hat on certain situations when I look at things and say, is that really equitable for everyone? Is that really equitable for our 5-star teacher, 5 out of 5, don't think it's 5 out of 10, and for a teacher who may need some additional support? Is it equitable for both? And we're always looking at that and moving forward. So I appreciate you all coming here. Know that we're going to continue our discussions and conversations, and I know we'll come to an amiable end. So thank you in advance. And I think we've made a lot of strides together these last 5 years compared to where we were in 2019 to compared to where we are now, especially with our ability to support our teachers as well as maintain a positive fund balance so that, God forbid in the future, if there ever is an economic downturn like there was in 2006, we can weather that storm. So thank you in advance. Thank you, board. I appreciate all you do.
Thank you. We'll now go to board comments. Trustee Sabo?
Thank you, Madam President. Obviously, exciting times for all the people in this room, and kids come back to school in a month. Not for the kids, but, no, not my kids, but really, this is why we do what we do. So it is exciting times. I want to make sure I highlight the fact that we voted on the bond being put out for the election in November. This is a huge part for us to be able to do something like this because of all the people that sit in this room, because of all the students that are in these buildings and all the taxpayers in the community. I encourage all of you that have questions. There will be some opportunities, Dr. Musalam, for open forums. We're not running, we're not hiding, we're not ducking. We are here to make sure that every aspect of this is explained. Anyone who says we're trying to leave things out, come on out and ask any questions. We're open to any questions being asked. We want to make sure we're not only taking care of the district now. As I told Dr. Musalam and other folks on the board when I first started, I'm not worried about what I'm going to do in my 6-year tenure. I'm worried about where this district is going to be in 20 years. And what I vote on now is about making this district the right district to be in for the next half a century. Because at the end of the day, I want my children to raise their children here. And in order to do that, we have to build the right infrastructure. Supporting our teachers, those that know me know I am a huge advocate of everything you guys do. I am a huge advocate of being able to pay you top dollars as if you were investment specialists in this world, because the investment that we put into our children is in your hands. Unfortunately, there's limited resources. We all know that, but I think Dr. Musalam and the administration have done right by you, because from day one, we always wanted to make sure you guys were well taken care of. I wish our children had all the resources they needed. I wish we could have a tutor sit next to every one of them every single day from K through 12. It's impossible. The funding is not there. I also wish our taxpayers didn't have to pay taxes. Reality is, there has to be a balance, and we've got to figure this out. The only way to figure it out is for all of us to work together to continue to do what's best for this community. I challenge all of you to think the same way, not just for the next school year, for the next 20 years. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Trustee Sabo. Trustee Amon?
Well, Trustee Sabo pretty much hit everything on the dot, but just hope everybody's having a safe summer. Congrats to the new assistant principals.
Yes.
I have known Miss Barada since she was, what is it, Shireen? 7, 8? She used to play basketball for me. I was 14. Yeah, I was like a 10-year-old coaching. So, but congratulations to Ms. Barada, Mr. Hanawi. Excited to see what the future holds. Also, I'm pretty sure Trustee Najah is going to talk about this as well, is the school event for Back to School, August 20th, Riverside. I will not be in the dunk tank this year, sorry. And then
I was told, yes, you will.
no. Last year we had technical difficulties. And then also I'm excited for the upcoming school year and sports events. I am a football coach, so I'm extremely excited about this new year, new coach, new vision, new everything. A lot of our kids have been showing up, and we've been getting big numbers, and we're really excited to see what we have to offer this year. And the boys have been working very hard, so I'm very proud of them. And also, if we can just keep in mind, keep in our prayers, everything that's going on overseas, all the innocent lives being lost, if we could just always keep them in our prayers with, what's going on, Palestine, Lebanon, Yemen, Sudan, and that's it from me.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Williams?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to offer my congratulations to the two new assistant principals. I also want to thank all the teachers for showing up, and thank you for all you guys do for all of our kids in the district. I know it's sometimes a thankless job, but we do appreciate you all. Now, I'd also like to hope you all have the last 1 month of your summer. Hope you can enjoy it when you can. And I am the plugger here, so I'd like to plug a band car wash on Sunday, August 4th. The band is going to be holding a car wash at Riverside from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thanks.
So I, as well, would like to thank our wonderful staff for being here. We know how important your role is in all of our children's lives and for the future generations. I do want to congratulate Ms. Barada and Mr. Hanawi. Congratulations, guys. I always enjoy seeing both of you guys in the hallways, and it's going to be nice to see you guys in that role as well. The kids, I think, are going to love to see you guys in that role as well. Sorry, guys, this is always my least favorite part. As much as I want to talk and congratulate everyone, it's my least favorite part. But we do have a back-to-school event on August 20th. We will have a sensory-friendly hour from 4 to 5. It's where we will have, I know Blue Hands United, we're partnering with them, and, so all of our students that are special needs will have that time to be able to come in before everybody else does. There'll be the fire department, so there'll be a fire truck there, bounce houses, prizes, food trucks. I think that's it. So, thank you.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I forgot to do something.
So trustee Sabah reminded me that we did want to take a moment of silence to honor the memory of Officer Muhammad Saeed, who the community lost in the line of duty, and also tragic death of Dr. Ghada Mustafa, who lost her life about a week prior to that. So, tragedy has struck our communities, and we'd like to offer a moment of silence to their memory and their families. Thank you. For my comments, everybody, I never get to say anything new because everybody steals my thunder, but that's okay. I would like to reiterate everything that everybody said. Congratulations again. I will tell you, though, seeing all the teachers in the audience today was very, very nice. I would like to reiterate Dr. Mosalem's sentiments that I wish we'd get a crowd like this all the time. That would be very nice. With that being said, to all of the teachers in here, my children graduated from Crestwood School District, and my daughter Medina just recently graduated law school. So that's congratulations to all of you. I'll take credit for some of it. I'll give her the rest of the credit, but I know that she couldn't have done it without an amazing team behind her. So Mr. Abate, when you talk about your social studies, I know that you had Medina several times, and we'll give you some credit today too for that, Ed. So thank you, guys. Other than that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Chair.
Are you seconding that?
Second.
Okay. So motion to adjourn by trustee Sabah, seconded by trustee Amen. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned at 7:44.
Thank you.